I'm gonna start recording. So this is gonna be kind of precarious. I think my my computer can handle this. But I'm streaming in 720p at 60 FPS and recording on 4K at 60 FPS. And I can do that because I have a fairly decent CPU and a RTX 2080 GPU to do this stuff. So yeah, so what this is DK Vine is a fun little forum place you guys can all check out if you're a fan of any of Rareware's older properties like Banjo-Kazooie, DKC, DK64, pretty much anything. Conker. In fact, Andrew seems to have a soft spot for Conker's Pocket Tales even, and represents himself with the evil acorn, which is the greatest villain of all time. But yeah, so everybody here, basically I was invited to participate in this by Mr. TGC, Mr. Josh Wallen, the Geek Critique. He thought I might be a good fit for this, so here I am. I'm gonna be playing K-Rool's Keep and the Flying Kroc for you guys tonight. And yeah. So yeah, why don't we go ahead and get started. So in case so I put a link to the forum in the YouTube stream. By the way, this is real hardware. I'm streaming this using the open source scan converter and a SNES Mini with an RGB mod plus a SCART cable with C-Sync. So this is the best it gets from real hardware, folks. In fact, unfortunately I cannot look at my better turn on the stereo. And I already have a save game all set up for you guys, because unlike the other guys, I'm not doing this on an emulator, so it's a bit more challenging. So you guys will have to tell me how the stream performance is doing. We're gonna go farm some lives and coins real quick, because that is something I do not like about the older DKC games. Because for the most part, I prefer DKC Classic over the Returns games. There are a couple things I really like about the Returns games, but one thing that they definitely improved, to my recollection, is when you die or when you get a game over or reset the game, you don't lose all your coins and lives and stuff. Like, that saves with your save file, at least as far as I can remember. Whereas, in the SNES versions, at least, of the original trilogy, you stop the game, you lose all of your stuff, and then you have to go farm some more, and that is an unfortunate side. As much as I love this game to the moon and back, that is one thing that I do find kind of annoying, is the fact that you know, if you shut the game off and come back, all your lives are gone, and all your coins are gone, so you gotta get more. Yeah, good to hear about the performance is going good, guys. And I'll try to check the chat every once in a while, but I do also have to play the video game. Let's see, I could use some Quans. Let's go up and fight Crow real quick. Which is why usually when I replay DKC2, which is entirely too often, I just play the whole game in one sitting, so I don't have to worry about that crap. Yeah, so you guys get a little bit of bonus content only because I need some coins. And one thing I did discover the last time I played DKC2 to 102% is that you gotta make sure to do all the Swanky quizzes, win those, and pay for all of Funky's flights. If you don't, you'll be at 101%, which is really annoying. So the problem I ran into the last time is, like, I skipped one of the Funky's flights, then I came back, and then I finished the game, and I'm like, I just beat Captain K. Rool and Crocodile Core. Life is good. I got all the hero coins and everything. Then I'm looking at the thing, and it says 101%, and it's like, what? What did I miss? And then I found out, oh, it's because I didn't pay for the Funky Kong, the Funky's flights in Gloomy Gulch. And I think I beat the boss because I wasn't paying attention, so yeah, we have 4 coins, that should be enough. We have like 10 lives. That should be enough to get us started here, and it even takes us back to the world map for free, so I actually didn't know that. But yes, K-Rool's Keep, this is what we're doing right here. And yeah, so will you review Sonic Forces one day? I love your reviewing style, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts. So here's the thing about Sonic. So I like a lot of his games, you know, and I've reviewed plenty of his games, but it's like, lately, especially, I just gotta say that the pre-release period for Forces was one of the most miserable periods of my life. Because I mean, like, to kind of cut to the chase just a little bit, I do plan on reviewing Unleashed and Colors. At least those two. Because I feel like I have something worthwhile to say about both of them. But what I've kind of learned recently is that what the Sonic community wants and what I want is... By the way, this is 102%, so we're going for all the Kremcoins and all the Hero Coins and all that good stuff. So that'll include all of this stuff. And I pretty much know where everything is. I've done this a billion times. By the way, if you like this kind of commentary and stuff, you'll probably like my Let's Play channel, EPG Plays, where I have already done a 102% playthrough of this video game on GBA, as well as DKC1 and 3 on GBA. So yeah, that's part of the reason why I'm doing this on SNES this time is... First, because the other people in the Great Ape Relay also did it on SNES, and because I've already, I think, exhausted the GBA possibilities for the time being. There's like a Kong letter somewhere around here where you have to like backtrack up and upwards. The water levels in this game all have this weird gimmick where the water levels change constantly, which looks cool, but it's kind of strange that it's like in every level that has water. Anyways, I guess the point is, the Forces pre-release period was miserable because everybody was just, you know, constantly... It was the Sonic community at its most toxic. And I think the fact that it came out right around the same time as Mania didn't really help much either. As here I have a bunch of people telling me, you have to like classic Sonic. Sonic Mania is the best thing ever. And I played it and I was just kind of like, this is fine, but it's not great either. I don't see what the hubbub is about. I mean, to be perfectly honest, that there are plenty of legitimate reasons to like it. I'm not gonna begrudge anybody that, but it did seem like part of the reason why it was so big was just because it looks like the Sonic that a particular generation of people happened to grow up with and haven't seen in a while. And that's why reviewers who were of that age group looked at that and said, this is the best Sonic game we've had in years. And not necessarily because of the game design. I mean, if you want my review of Mania, that's it right there. Yes, but I'm probably not going to review Mania because here's the thing, folks, I could spend a lot of time recording footage, writing a script, editing a video, but at the end of the day, I feel like nobody's really listening, and nobody really cares what anybody else thinks about Sonic, if that makes any sense. Like, I could make a video saying like, you know, I didn't actually think the story in Sonic Forces was all that bad. There were quite a few things I actually really liked about it, and the people would be like, no, it's bad, it's objectively bad, you can't like this. I mean, that's to say nothing of the actual game design. I think Forces overall is just kind of it's okay. I don't really hate it, but there wasn't anything super special about it, and I would actually agree. As much as I prefer my straightforward linear platforming design in my video games, and DKC2 is a fantastic example of everything I look for in a platforming game. Like, secrets to find, fast-paced platforming action, tons of levels, great visual variety and theming, an excellent soundtrack. Like, this is the gold standard for me, is what we're playing right now. In fact, I should probably mention, since this is a DKC2 playthrough after all, that K-Rool's Keep is actually my favorite world in this video game, which some people might find surprising, because like the guys, DK Vine in the server were asking like, alright, who wants Gloomy Gulch and K-Rool's Keep? And I'm like, ooh, give me K-Rool's Keep, and they're like, alright, you sure about that, friend? And I'm like, you know it, I want to play this part of the game. So, yeah, and there's a bonus barrel hidden down here. Let's see. Sonic Forces felt rushed and it was mediocre because of this. I think mediocre is a fairly good description of it. From what I heard, they spent most of the development time making a new engine, and then they just sort of threw the game itself together in like a year. And yeah, that's what it feels like. I don't blame people for not liking it. Like, I think when I was first playing it, I liked it a little bit more because people didn't like it. You know, like I came into it wanting to see more of the good, but then it's just like looking back on it, I'm like, you know, Luminous Forest is literally just a straight line where you boost through enemies. And I'm like, yeah, that's not very good. You know, like, I like my straightforward level design, but I don't mean to that extent. You gotta have actual challenge in your video games, you know, at least something to keep the player engaged. That's one of the things that DKC2 does really well. It's a very challenging game. Very simple mechanics, but lots of complexity gleaned from that simplicity. And I think I just missed the DK coin. Yeah, I'm gonna have to commit seppuku real quick. You go back. 3 level designers in the credits. That explains a lot. Do you still plan to do a DKC1 GBC review? It's been a few years. I will say yes. I'm still willing to do that, especially now that I finally got my Wii HDMI modded for the highest possible pixels, or highest quality pixels rather. A DKC, because like what I want to do is I want to have like a little, because frankly the other DKC roars are aged. They don't hold up to my current quality standard in terms of footage quality or scripting or what have you. And there's some weird bits in them and some voiceover clips that I got lazy on, you know what I mean? So I kind of want to do like, before I get to returns and all that good stuff. Come on. This is the thing about trying to talk and play a video game at the same time. By the way, Raving Dave just posted the link to the Exo Discord. It's a fan Discord. I don't really like being in giant servers with tons of people, so that's why I'm not there, but if you're a fan and you want to talk to other fans, it's a good place to do it, and Mr. Raving Dave is always frustrated that I don't promote it enough. Okay, somehow I made it over there, but yeah. I'm not as practiced with this as I would like to be. Okay, so this time we're gonna get that coin. There we go. I did it. You guys can stop throwing the tomatoes. I got that DK coin. Alright. This is one of my favorite levels too, I gotta say. Like, it's a really simple idea, but I really like kind of the timing of it. That's what the DKC series in general does really well, is taking these really simple ideas and making them challenging, making them straightforward, and making them fun. Which is, I really think that anybody could play DKC2 and get something out of it. Like, even if you like 1 or 3 more, I feel like anybody could play this and say, you know, this is pretty good. Even if it's not necessarily for me. You know, if that makes any sense. Alright, this part's a little tricky. Okay, we're gonna have to go back and try that again. You can see that there is a clobber over here. Jump on him, and then we use him to go through the cutlass. And there we go. The Returns does have a really interesting thing where it blends 2 mechanics into an interesting stage. Yeah, so what I want to do is, I want to do like a quick little video where I talk about the GBA versions one last time, and review DKC GBC. And then after that, we'd move on to Returns and Tropical Freeze. I'm not sure when that's gonna be, because there are like a million videos I want to do, but you know, like I start working on them and then I get kind of like bored with it, and then I move on to something on the Let's Play channel, and then I'm like, oh, I still haven't finished the Dark Moon video, and I really should have, because I have most of the footage, I have most of the script done. All that's really been missing is the will to sit down and work on it. Makes any sense. I really love these castle stages of DKC2. It's one of the reasons why K-Rool's Keep is my favorite world in this video game. I really enjoy just the look of these castles, because there are lots of castle levels in video games, but there's something about the way that they drew, you know, the art design here, I guess is what I'm trying to say, that makes these castles feel really neat. One of my favorite kind of little subtle cues, or subtle aspects of DKC2 is, I like how you start out at the bottom of Crocodile Isle and slowly work your way to the top, where the final boss in DK is. I thought that was really interesting and clever. And it's something that Crash Bandicoot 1 kind of apes off a lot. Well, Crash Bandicoot in general aped a lot out of DKC, no pun intended. But especially, it's like the final boss of the first game. You fight on an airship on top of a castle, which is literally the same thing as the Flying Kroc in K. Rool's Keep from DKC2. And I'm like not making this up either. Andy Gavin and Jason Rubin literally came out and said, we took inspiration from Sonic, Donkey Kong, and Mario when we made Crash Bandicoot. And then Crash Bandicoot came out like a year after this game, maybe like 2 years. So, yeah, they're really fun. Exo, what do you think of Sonic Heroes? I think someone has been watching my multi-part Sonic Heroes, multi-platform, multi-commentary lineup Let's Play of Sonic Heroes, in which I play the PS2, Xbox, GameCube, and PC versions of Sonic Heroes. One for each, basically for each team I play a different version of the game, and each version of the game I bring along a new commentary lineup so that they're new people. So, unfortunately, we will not be doing a thing where my co-commentators and I switch out the controller whilst playing Team Chaotix, even though that it really is a brilliant idea that is fair to the video game. Hey, Exo, can somebody please explain to me why dithering is a meme? Like, what's so funny about that? How did that start? Because dithering, what people don't seem to understand is that dithering is frighteningly normal. Like, you know, when you print off a piece of paper from your computer on a printer, right? Those printouts are made of teeny tiny dots. And there's even an expression for the density of those dots called dots per inch. Or, yeah, dots per inch. Which basically communicates to you how many, in each square inch of paper, that's how many possible droplets of ink there can be. So what that means is, Crash's Coco Bandicoot is basically Dixie Kong. And Tana Bandicoot is basically Candy Kong. Interesting coincidence. Like, I have a whole page of these written down. Like, I recorded all of Crash 1 on PS1 and recorded all of it on Insane Trilogy as well, and I just have like a page of notes about all the things they aped off of the DKC games. And it's like, once you know what dithering means, you know. Dithering is even the name of a role on the server, he says. But, like, the point I'm trying to make is that anytime you look at a printout, like, if you look at a vending machine and you look at the artwork on the side of a vending machine and you look at it really closely, it's made of dithering dots. You look at a photograph that you get developed, that's made of teeny tiny dots, so therefore it's dithered as well. Dithering is everywhere. It's not like this weird thing, it's something that's right in front of your eyes all the time. You know what I mean? It's like I just got my Wii HDMI modded, like I said, and I'm looking at that. And I'm playing some DKC Returns, and I'm looking in the background, I'm like, yeah, there's some more dithering right there. And dithering is everywhere. The reason dithering is a meme is because you keep asking why it is a meme. So would Brio be cranky? I guess. Can people please change the subject? Yes, maybe, I wonder how many people here are from the forum and don't know, like, all the inside jokes. Because, I'm willing to guess that most of the people here are, from my YouTube channel, so they're subscribers, so they know all the hot memes, like, 480i! You know, because Exo hates 480i, because it should never have been a standard for video games. Did you know that DK64 was, at one point, going to be similar to Crash Bandicoot before it branched out in a more open-world design? I actually didn't know that. But you want to know what's really interesting is that there is a Lilo and Stitch game on the PlayStation 1 and PC that is literally just Crash Bandicoot with Stitch. It's so weird. Like the Hawaiian theme especially just makes it really feel like that same sort of, you know. Will I do a Roar of the KH games? Probably not. Because there's so many frickin' versions of those, and there's such long games, and it's... You know, in terms of, like, the subtle details of the porting job and whatnot, because that's something that people get really mad about if you don't talk about, by the way. Like, you didn't mention that this ball of light in the background at the end of Sonic Adventure 2 is missing a texture blur effect from the Dreamcast version. You know, people will be like that. And it's like, I know why, because they know something that I didn't and they're disappointed I didn't bring it up. Like, I get that, but it's annoying when you spend so much time working on a video and you miss that one little thing, and then that's all the comments are about. Like, it's, I know I'm kind of like on my soapbox here as a creator, you know what I mean? But that's just how it is. If you guys made videos and looked at comments, you'll know exactly what I mean. Like, I'm sure, I think Jay's Reviews is in the comments, and certainly he knows. Because he just posted a review of Metal Gear Solid 4, and people are like, dude, you're just nitpicking too much. Or, actually, you got this one tidbit of information about MGS4 wrong. And that's a very difficult game to keep all of your facts straight on. In case he didn't know. So, I don't even know what I'm talking about at this point. If DK64 was just Crash 1, it might have been good. I have a soft spot for DK64. Because I was playing it right around in like 2013 when I was graduating high school. And that's when I got 101% on it the first time. And at the time I enjoyed it because, you know, it was kind of a difficult phase of my life, nearing the end of high school. But I don't really have any desire to go back and replay the whole thing. Oh, hello there, Ultra Mentality. Glad you could make it for at least a little bit. Do you think you'll ever do a roar for Halo 1 or 2? Exo. Yes, I actually have recorded some versions of that already. I think I have the 360 version, the Xbox version, and my brother and I did a playthrough of the Xbox One version together in co-op, and then basically the only thing that's holding me back at this point is I did the PC version as well. Really, all I have left is I need footage of it in 4K from the Xbox One X. So that means I need an Xbox One X and I need a 4K capture card. And both of those things are very expensive, but that is something, I do have notes written down, I do have some footage there, because that's what the past few months of my life have been like, is me being like, oh, I want to do roars in the Crash Bandicoot games, because people have been asking for that. And then I'm like, oh, now I want to do Halo 1. Oh, now I want to do Luigi's Mansion. Oh, but I forgot to finish Pokemon. Oh, I forgot to finish Dark Moon. You know what I mean? It's like, I want to work on all these videos, but then I never... I'm like Professor Calamitous. I never finish anything. I read comments, and I hate the rude people there. It triggers me that people nitpick the review, especially if they complain about you nitpicking. It's true. It's true. It's the greatest irony. Because it's like, most of you guys are probably just watch stuff, you know? You don't make stuff, and, you know... maybe some of you have made some stuff, maybe some of you are bigger than others, but it is a thing that once you get to a certain point, it's just really not worth checking comments anymore. Like, for me, pretty much how it is I'll read comments like the first couple days a video comes out, just in case there's like a major thing that gets repeated. And, you know, because that's usually when the people who like are subscribed will watch, you know what I mean? It's like kind of right away. And then after that point, it just becomes, you know, after that point, it's like I've gleaned everything useful I can get from reading comments in this video, so now I'm gonna stop. Because I used to be the type of person who would just read my comments all the time, and I'm just like, I don't like doing it. Hello, Gordon Boxman. I've made stuff for almost 5 years. I'm still pretty much underground. Do what I did. I thought about everything I hadn't finished on YouTube and then focused on finishing that. ExoParadigmGamer, what are your favorite videos to make? People ask for roars, but is there something else you would want to do more of? That's a good question. I actually really enjoy working on Let's Plays. Which is... because, you know, the irony of that is that market is so oversaturated that nobody wants to watch someone new, you know? I have, like, a dedicated little group of fans in my Let's Play channel that, you know, I very much appreciate them tuning in to watch stuff. The reason I still make them, even though, like, I only get, like, 100 views on each part, at best, is because I find it so much fun. Let's Playing is fun. That's my favorite thing to do on YouTube, but, you know, it's like, you gotta give people what they ask for. And unfortunately, that's not always what I want to work on. That's what it means. I did hear about H-Bomber Guy's DK64 stream. It's pretty cool. Hey, ExoGamer, do you want a DKC4? Well, we already got it. It's called Returns. I know that there's that fan game called Donkey Kong Country 4 that's being made by some Portuguese fans of the DKC franchise, where you could play as all the characters from 1 through 3. I haven't heard anything about that in a while, so I don't even know if it's still being made. Would I like a new game kind of in the style? Sure. But personally, I don't know, I'd be fine with anything Donkey Kong. Like, I'd even be fine with them trying something different, because I feel like, I know Tropical Freeze was just kind of more of Returns, which was good, mind you, because both of those are good video games, but I don't know. And I say I want something new, but I also want them to bring back the Kremlings, because, you know, it's kind of part of the DK brand. Kind of a part of the charm of these old games. Okay, I'm not sure what happened just then. Looks like that clobber ran off the edge and pushed me upwards. Which is strange. Chain Link Chamber is one of my favorite stages too. I really like these castle levels. One of my favorites to replay. Let's see. Yeah. Once I get up, okay, it looks like gotta be careful here. There it is. Almost missed that one. That one's kind of tricky because there's not really a good indication that you can go through that wall. So, and I'm sure that there's a cranky hint or something. I like to binge a Let's Play, so I don't watch your episodes as they come out normally. I just watched Zebro's Team Rose today. Did you know Metroid Prime? Yeah, it sounds like it got scrapped and now they're gonna have Retro Studios work on it. And we still don't know what Retro Studios has been working on for the past, since 2014. It's been 5 years and they have announced nothing. Which is annoying. Yeah, I don't even know what that last E3 was about for Nintendo. Like, that last E3 was just pathetic. Like, they had nothing good to announce, but they had already announced a bunch of stuff like a few months ago during the Direct, so it's like, why not save it for E3 instead? We could have waited, we didn't know any better. DKC1 or Tropical Freeze? You're gonna hate me, Ginger Conker. You're gonna hate me. I'm gonna say DKC1. I actually think Tropical Freeze... I don't know, when I review that, there are gonna be some annoyed people. I think I might like Returns more. I don't know, it depends. I have to sit down and play both of them to full completion again before I come to the conclusion, but getting full completion in Tropical Freeze is such a pain in the butt. And it is the reason why I do not come back to either of those games nearly as often. It's because I can 102% this game fairly quickly. I can 102% this game fairly quickly. At this point, I can even 103% DKC3 relatively quickly. Like, you know how when in the review I said I was never gonna fully complete that game again? I probably fully completed it like 6 more times since then. Between practice playthroughs and Let's Plays and all that good stuff. And even that game, when you know what you're doing, you can 103%... Okay, listen. Cutlass! Alright, I need to focus on this video game, otherwise we're never gonna beat this stage. Because that's what happens. Like, you think that you'd be good at playing a video game and talking at the same time, but then you actually sit down and do it. And your brain can only focus on so much at once, but... Yeah, that's my problem with Returns and Tropical Freeze, is that It feels like it takes way too long to get all the puzzle pieces. It feels like I always have to replay stages multiple times because there's some puzzle piece behind the scenery somewhere that I accidentally missed. The only surefire way to get all of those puzzle pieces in one go is to bring squawks, but when you bring squawks, you're taking away from like all the actual exploration of the stage, which kind of defeats the purpose of looking for things. And it just takes way too long to get all of the puzzle pieces and all of the Kong letters and all that stuff. If you are playing Returns and Tropical Freeze just normally, those games are perfectly fine and great platforms. And there are some things that Retro Studios could do with the better hardware of the Wii and Wii U as opposed to the SNES. Like, the minecart levels especially are just thrill rides in terms of like, oh my god, I'm riding on a teeny tiny little wooden tub, crossing a bunch of saw blades, and jumping through wooden blocks as they're being sawed through. Like, that stuff's really fun. There's a part in Returns where you're like on top of an egg, and as you're going along, there are like these little spikes that are taking chunks out of the egg, so you gotta dodge the hole and the spikes at the same time while you're going, like, that stuff's great. But in terms of how they handle optional collectibles in the Returns games, it's like nowhere near as fast-paced as it was in these older games. And that's why I don't come back to them nearly as much, because coming back to them, it feels like I'm in for like a 10-hour thing here, as opposed to this game, where I can sit down and fully complete this in 2.5 hours. So, good games, and like I said, remember to make sure to pay for these, because otherwise you'll get to the end of the game and be like, why do I only have 101%? So just pay for them as you go along the way. It looks like I missed something in this stage. Oh, that's right, I know exactly what I missed. It's right up here at the beginning. Yeah, I'm not as practiced up as I was when I did. By the way, that's a jape right there. You try to dash through all those pokies, or those hedgehogs, those porcupines, and then there's a clamp on right at the end of them. So like you're speeding up, suddenly you ram into a clamp on. So that's the thing, that's what I'm not sure about. That'll be ultimately when I review those games, ultimately decide whether like Returns of Tropical Freeze more is the pace of how fast I can fully complete them. Make sure to do Swanky's quizzes as well. These also count towards full completion. What's the name of this area? That'd be K-Reel's Keep. What's the name of Old Man Kong? That'd be Cranky. Which one of these enemies also appeared in DKC? That would be Zinger. Let's see. What's the name of the castle? Castle Crush. Animal Buddies. 6. Okay, I guess it's 5. Some of these I always have to guess on, even though I've played this a billion times. What's the name of the flying ghost coat Kremling? That'd be Cloak. What's the name of your spider buddy? Squitter. How many desks are there? 5? How many baddies? 30. Alright, that's it for that. Got a good thing of lives. The TF port also did away with the RNG in the bosses because they listened to speedrunners. Interesting. Technically, puzzle pieces aren't part of 100%, the same as getting the time tack medals. Like, I don't know. I feel like they are, because otherwise there's nothing to explore for in the stages. And that's part of what I like about these old games, is looking for Kremcoins and bonus coins and stuff. Having extra stuff to do. Because it's like, I love my straightforward, linear platforming levels that focus on challenge and whatnot, but I also like having little things to go out of my way to look for. And that's what the puzzle pieces are for. So even if they don't count toward the counter, they're still kept track of, there's still things to look for in the stages. So it's hard to, because it's one of those things where I didn't used to be that way. I used to be the type of person to just run through levels without doing anything, without going for side quests. But it's just like, once I made that switch in my brain, it's like, I can't go back. I have to actively force myself not to do that kind of stuff anymore. The 100% experience matters to me. Like, people can say that it's optional, just don't do it, but that to me isn't a good enough excuse anymore. I mean, it lessens the blow for sure, but that doesn't mean that, oh, all is forgiven because I don't have to do it. You know what I mean? Alright, this is kind of a fun stage. There's like a part in DK64 right before Creepy Castle, where like the little hub world with all the doors in it, where Wrinkly will come out and give you hints. There's like a big pool of green acid in it, and it reminds me a lot of Castle Crush, or I'm sorry, Toxic Tower. I think it was an intentional homage. There's lots of little homages to the first 3 DKC games in DK64. It's one of the reasons why I still kind of have a fondness for that game, even though from a game design point of view, it's flawed up the butt. And, you know, that's just how it is, man. Let's see, got a zinger over here. Yeah, so I'll check the chat again in just a moment once I clear this part of the stage, and then we'll find something new to talk about. I'm sorry if I didn't get to your whatever you said in the chat, folks. It's one of those things where I gotta focus on playing the video game and talk at the same time. Alright, pause. Okay. Here's something I find strange. It's still almost impossible to emulate the original Xbox, which is strange. Yeah, Prime 4 delay, that was being made in-house by Nintendo, I think, and we just found out today that it was cancelled, and they're handing over development to Retro Studios, which is like, I don't know, we still barely know anything about Prime 4 anyway, so it's kind of hard to care that much. Why did you buy red underwear? I didn't, that was Ryan. Exo, why wasn't Toxic Tower not completed? What is my main flaw with this game? If I had to pick something, the fact that you have to pay to save is kind of dumb. You know, like they had to make the coins do something, just so that you had that other collectible, you know, so that you would go out of your way and platforming. Like, I know why they did it, but it's still not super great design, if you ask me. Like, if I had to pick one thing where I'm like, you could probably not have done that, then that would be it for this game. Exo, how do you feel about the Kirby series? I rather like the Kirby series. Oh, and another guy is asking if I'd cover Banjo-Kazooie. Sure. But I know that Banjo 2 is gonna be a difficult one, because, you know, I've got to do the Xbox One versions and the N64 versions. It'll be a roar. Yes, they did fix that problem in DKC3, so... And I don't know, my opinion on DKC3 is probably improved since the review. So yeah, we got everything in that world, so now all we have left is the Flying Kroc and Captain K. Rool himself. Let's see. Someone was asking me Kirby, right. I actually really like the Kirby games quite a bit. My favorite games in the series are the most recent ones. Besides, Star Allies was kind of like, but other than that, the most recent ones since Kirby's Return to Dreamland have been really solid, and the best games in the series. Like, it took the best elements of Kirby Superstar, and, you know, combine that with an updated presentation, bigger soundtracks, full 3D environments. It's just they've all been really good. Planet Robobot is the best Kirby game ever made, don't at me. Alright, so this one's difficult to get to if you don't have both Kongs. In fact, I think it's required to have both Kongs. So, yeah. In fact, you actually do need both of them for this. Or at least Dixie. You could probably get away with not having Diddy, but you definitely do need Dixie to navigate through these brambles here. Yeah, I mean, this is fun. I haven't streamed in so long, because it's such a pain in the butt to set up, so... Yeah, and I'm glad that I've got to a point where the performance is good. When is Bowser's Inside Story remake or re-break? Well, the remake isn't out yet, and I still need to replay the entirety of Partners in Time, since all that footage got deleted in the Great Windows Update fail of October 2018. By the way, secret little passageway down here. It's a good way to give yourself a head start against Screech, and then if you go up this left part here, you'll find the O. These games are so much fun to replay. Like, no matter which way you replay them, and that's the difference between the original trilogy and the new games, is that with the new games, it feels like you can only really have tons of fun consistently if you just play them normally. Whereas with the original games, they're fun to speedrun no matter how you play them. Like, you can go for everything, you can go for nothing. You know, and it's fun to replay and get better at the level design. Even if you just play it once, you'll probably have a good time with it. You know, it's one of the reasons why this is so high up on my list of fagots. Like, it's right up there, top 3. Of course, you know, it's also one of those things where favorite video games, you can like different games for different reasons and whatnot. But yeah, we did it, and we got the green balloon too, so yeah. Triple Deluxe was pretty good, but I consider it in the middle tier. I felt like that too, but then I replayed it, and I'm like, that was actually pretty good. Exo, let me guess Exo's favorite games. Your movements are so tight, you make it look so easy. Yeah, well that's what practice does. Like, I've played through this game tons of times, practiced up for Let's Plays and stuff on multiple channels, so the more you play a game, the better you get. Exo, please do a Roar of Metroid Zero Mission and Metroid NES. I would love to, I just need to get the D-Jitter mod and my RGB modded NES working. Then we can do that. Oh, the Bowser's Inside Story remake's out? Well, shit, I didn't know that. By the way, here's the final boss. Alright, bye Ultra Mentality, thanks for joining us. Well-designed games have a really solid main game, but also excellent side content without insulting the player's intelligence. Couldn't have said it better myself, friend. Alright, so this boss can be tricky. But, I mean, there are a couple tricks to learn that make it easier. By the way, look at that 1-point perspective on the floor in the front. That's one weird thing that's kind of inconsistent. Like, in the main levels of these games, like, the perspective on the ground always faces the wrong way. Except if it's a pre-rendered room like this, then the perspective is perfect. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard if you haven't drawn before. Drawn in perspective, rather. And I like doing this, like just teabagging, because it looks like she's mooning him. And then here it looks like Diddy's patting his butt. You know, so I guess DKC had teabagging before Halo made it cool. Alright. Kind of like, I really do like, this is a very puzzle-oriented boss where it's just like, pay attention to what's going on and dodge. Which is fun. Like I said, what makes the DKC games so much fun is that they have really tight control, they have simple ideas that make for fun complexity, if that makes any sense. So the ones that go all the way up, I like to go under, the ones that go in the middle, I like to jump over. Alright. I just noticed the SNES controller in the background. Yeah, it's a fun little detail. They definitely took that out of the remake, though. I can't remember if they kept the car dice, though. I think maybe they put a GBA in the background in the remake. Which is still a perfectly valid way of experiencing this fine video game. And it's definitely a little bit more accessible than the original since they fixed the pay-to-save issue. Boink. Alright, and I think that should be the third part of this phase. There are 3 phases with 3 sort of sets, and then each time you get another barrel, which is an improvement over the final boss of DKC1, Gangplank Galleon, where it just seemed like it went on forever. There are a couple of tricks to keep in mind for this phase of the boss with these 3. Shit. That's gonna make things a little bit more difficult. But I could still probably pull this off. Alright, we got 2 more rounds left and the boss is B. Looks like we're... there we go. Yeah, and those cannonballs coming out of the blunderbuss like that always make things a little bit trickier. Alright, so now I got the purple ones. The purple ones reverse your controls. So if you have both Kongs, then usually what I do is I just do a team up to get away. Alright, now in this part he's gonna start appearing and reappearing all over the room. The trick is, stay still until you know where he's coming from, then run. What I used to do on this boss is just run all over the place, and then sometimes he would just pop up in front of you. Alright. If I could just dodge this cannonball... There we go. And that's how you beat Captain K. Rool. Yes, Matthew Dadoon just put it really succinctly why my issue with Super Mario Odyssey. My favorite DK character is probably Dixie Kong. Oh! Someone was talking about how they like the Kremling screams. Oh! Oh! Exo's 5 favorite platformers: Sunshine Odyssey, Spyro on PS, Banjo-Kazooie, and possible Super Mario 64 DS if you squint your eyes. Those are good guesses. Sunshine's definitely up there. Oh yeah, that rumor about Sonic Adventure 1.
Of course, if I'd been playing, I'd have made sure that K. Rool never tries a cheap trick like this again. I reckon I'd have found all the Kremcoins and completed the so-called Lost World. Oh well, can't expect everything from your first game, can we? One more thing, how many of my special video game hero coins did you find? A real player such as myself would have found plenty, I'm sure. Let's see how well you did, eh?
Yeah.
Well, I've got a second screen, and about time, too. Now shut up, everyone, while I read the eagerly awaited results of my prestigious Video Game Hero Awards. Hey, not bad for a youngin'. Of course, you're gonna have to find a few more if you want to be as big a hero as I was. If you want to look at your limited progress on this screen, press the top left and right buttons while you are on any of the map screens. Now buzz off and see if you can find some more of my coins, which I very much doubt you will.
Alright. Exo, I haven't played a Spyro game. Should I get the Reignited or play the originals? Reignited. I think it's something that... I don't know, the Reignited trilogy is really well done. Let's see, portable with 4:3 screen ratio. So that would be Super Mario 64 DS. I feel like the main blah 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 blah. Am I the only one who thinks the Sonic Adventure rumors are bullshit? He said he wants to remake it, that means nothing. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, nothing's confirmed. We don't know, it's not like they've come out and said, oh yeah, we're definitely remaking that, so... I think people are kind of jumping the gun just a little bit. You can actually just run left with Diddy and hug the corner. I didn't know that. Thanks for bringing up one. Did I forget something? I can go back and grab whatever I missed. Let's see. I noticed a goof in the screen. The enemies that pass one foreground post on the other side of the bridge like it were a ghost. Hey EPG, since you're earning your game design degree, are you planning on joining any big companies? That's a good question. Like, I have a few ideas for games I want to make. Oh yeah, there's Dithering. I don't know where I want to work. Part of me just wants to do like a, part of me just wants to do like an indie thing, make my own games. I wouldn't mind. Like, I'll probably end up interning for a couple of... Because, you know, I live in Washington, so there's Bungie, there's Sucker Punch Games in Bellevue. There are a whole bunch of places I can intern. And I guess I'll see if I like working at that. Oh yeah, I've listened to DK Rescued. It's one of the better tracks in that game. Hey, Exo, is it wrong going back to games I already played? Nope. Then again, Iizuka is the same guy who said that we're looking at the back of the moon in future Sonic games. Apparently never heard of title locking. Will you do a Roar of Crash? Yes. Will you do a Roar of Chrono Trigger? Sure. Right now, I'm going back to get a game programming degree, which is relatively new. How did you get that game design degree? How is that possible? May I join your crew? Well, I only just went back to an art school to start working on that. I already have a Bachelor of Arts in Political Science and Sociology. Then I realized that that's not what I want to do. I want to make video games, so... yeah. You forgot one game. Hint, Mini, Mega, and Blue... Oh, New Super Mario Brothers. I see. Will you do a Roar of Sonic Heroes? And what do you think of the game in general? Yeah, people who don't know what he's referencing. I really don't want... Because part of me wants to remake all of my videos because everything that I made even a few years ago is shite. But then the other part of me knows, like, that if I waste my time remaking it, nobody's gonna care what I say about Sonic Adventure. I'm not gonna change anyone's mind. Let's see. Where are you getting... Oh, someone from DigiPen. Oh, you live around here, that's interesting. I'd say where I go to school, but I don't want people to come and find me in real life, you know? I don't know about you, maybe you're cool, Zakuro no Gibbon. Zakuroe no Gibbon? I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Your videos are great, don't fret it. Oh, thanks. I'm in a game dev program at my school too. Yeah, but I'll just... I decided not to go out of state this time, that's all I'll say. So that you could probably guess just by process of elimination. Well, yeah. Also 480i. Nintendo loves reusing Mario 3 for the past 5 Mario games. Can you do a roar on Super Metroid and FSMR? Is FSMR out? I didn't know that. I thought that got dropped ages ago. Will you review Star Fox games in the future? I might do a video on Star Fox Adventures, just because that would be funny. Let's see. Oh, done already? I missed it. Oops. Exo, your IP is being tracked as we speak. I hope that's a joke, because that would be a bad thing if people found out where I live. Looks like some people have been pinging me on... Oh, it's Sonata. The opinions on the SD version of Sonic Unleashed. I didn't like it. I've only played like about an hour on it. I didn't like it that much from what I played. It's not a very good-looking Wii game. You should stream more often, Exo. You do a really good job at it. Well, thanks. I mean, pretty much what I'm doing is a live Let's Play. That's just what I did. It is kind of fun. As I suspected, everyone else had superior skills to me. Well, that's alright. You know, I've played this game to 100% probably like 15 times. It's like anything. The more you try it, the better it gets. So, David Wise is a true artiste. Yep. So you guys, you know what? I don't feel like being done yet. I mean, this is all we'll do for DKC2, because someone else is going to be doing the Lost Worlds. I think that's Ultra Mentality is going to be doing that, if I'm not mistaken. By the way, if you guys are on YouTube, feel free to check out in the description for the stream. There is a link to DK Vine, where you can go watch. Where you can go find the VODs and stuff and learn more about the Great Ape Relay. So be sure to go check that out, and go check out, I mean, I could finish Sonic 1 just fine now, Animator Bro, man. So, bye everyone. So, yeah, so...
Hey, what are you waiting for? There ain't no secret stuff hidden here, sonny. There is, however, a couple of special features on the game selection page. I'm sure they're of little use. I find these silly options pressed down lots of times, but if I were you, I wouldn't bother. Now switch this cartridge off and let me get some sleep. I reckon I've earned it.
Yeah. What's up, all you gaming assassins out there? Slow mode? I thought I had it set to fast. Anyway. What's your opinion on Crash of the Titans? Haven't played it. Roar on 2nd and 3rd gen Pokemon. Maybe someday, but... Well, I guess we'll wait to see after I talk about some other stuff. Gave you a follow on here as well, my dude. Keep up the great work. I'm moving in 2 weeks, so I need to get some packing done. God bless you, man, and have a great stream. Thanks, Spyro2355. I should do a whole Roar episode in my cranky voice. That's funny. Alright, guys. That's it for the Great Ape Relay. How would you guys like to play, like, another SNES game here? That's what I have set up. What do you guys think? Are you guys up for that? I'm playing this on real SNES hardware with the OSSC. Mega Man Bass. You guys, alright, if that's what you guys want. Right, so this is it for I'll just go ahead and turn off the recording. And I'll make sure to send the VOD to, Andrew. Right. Sure. Bubsy, SNES games. I do have Bubsy over here, but... I don't know, I feel like I've played Mega Man Bass too much on stream. Do you guys really want to see me do it again? Alright, that's